joined here today by Trevor Cunningham from Waterford, and you've been in the trade, Trevor, for what probably seems like 3 lifetimes. And
well, 11 if you'd be allowed to say it. So like it's go back to my childhood. I'd be 6th generation in my dad's time. Everything was about, I can remember one of the first jobs I had was making sure the shop was presentable the evening before for opening the following morning, and that meant something that's boycotted now, which is crazy, I think, but it's the old sawdust
on the floor,
the floor, which when you think about it, it's what butchering used to be, a trademark floor of a butcher shop, and that has been taken away by whatever beings that are there or whatever. There is reasons for it. It doesn't make sense to us, because you would have a situation where you have meat, you're talking about slippery floor. They're on so much about modern day health and safety. To me, one of the most important things in a butcher shop at that time was a dry floor, and the one way of keeping it dry was
the sawdust. Yeah.
So that's a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Seen a lot of changes in that time, Trevor.
Huge amount of changes.
For good and for bad, I'm sure.
Look, I ran 2 retail outlets at one stage that I inherited from my father. Somebody had to bring on the mantle. I had 7 brothers and sisters. My mum was a great woman. She was a PE instructress. She went back teaching PE, but like 7 mouths to feed. It was a big undertaking, and I didn't think too much about it when I went in. I didn't think at any given time that I would entertain even ending up in the meat game.
It's probably just to help out
I went in to help out for a summer, and then 62 summers later, or 52 summers later,
you're still pushing it on.
And I'm still driving, and I'm driving myself. And the one thing, I have people that come in to me. I've lecturers and students from WIT at the moment. I have a student-friendly facility in Christendon, in Waterford, albeit it's County Kilkenny because I'm the other side of the border.
Yes.
But I look on the meat game and what I do as being part of the general structure of the southeast of Ireland. I think it's a great place to be. I think it's a great adage for what butchering is all about, because we have rivers, we've green grass, we have people that know their stock, and we have people, more importantly, take pride in what they produce.
Yes.
And the one thing I say to any student that comes into my facility, actually tomorrow, Alan, would you believe, WIT have their senior food science class for their last visit. They're coming over to the factory.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And but the spiel I give them is, the one thing I said you need with meat, with food, is one word: passion.
Yeah.
And that says it all.
Yeah.
That explains everything, because number one, you will never ever become a millionaire out of dealing in food.
Yes.
If you look at the amount of time and effort you have to put in,
you have to love what you're doing. Yeah.
If you haven't got that inner heat, inner drive, and the one thing I will say to these students tomorrow, you will do something and you mightn't be 100% happy with it. I say that's all right, because you might have to go 16 or 17 times.
To get what you want at the end of it. To get
what you want. And all of a sudden, when you get it right once, you will never forget that way. You won't forget it. You won't have to write it down.
No, it's in there.
I myself, I've gone through all the different stages of production, processing, and everything like that. And somebody says to me, "How did you do that?" And I'd be able to ream off. And they said, "Have you it recorded?"
Yeah.
And even though I'm I'm heading to the Zimmer frame stage now, and God forbid Alzheimer's or whatever the case may be, it still doesn't stop me from doing the things that I've done all my life.
When you showed me, I was down with you a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't get over that. You know, you were pushing on, because some days I'd be saying to myself, Jesus, you know, you'd be tired and this and that, and to have that drive still. But like, what I didn't realise, if I was under pressure in the shop saying I wanted stuff done to my recipe, I can pick the meat I want. Say if it was pork legs and I wanted hams done, I can send them down to you. You'll do them to the recipe.
I'll do them.
That's a great facility.
Your satisfaction,
like, you know,
and
you're not just buying off the shelf. Like, you're producing.
And again, I'll say to you, I do a hell of a lot of dry curing. I do a hell of a lot of wet curing. But here's the most important thing: I inject for taste, not for gain.
Yes.
I inject to a rate of 13%.
That's it.
That's it. Full stop. I lose 5% of that. So my 8% is basically spread, and it's allowed mature. And Alan, and I have no problem, and that's why when you came down to me, I'm not closeted. I said, come in and have a look.
The lovely smokers were full and all. It was lovely.
You know, and to show you what you can achieve.
Yes, if you just keep the passion.
Just, okay, you'll have good days and you'll have bad days. And there'll be days I haven't too much hair left now, but you'll be tearing your hair out. You know, and what I will say to you is, and you will learn and never stop believing that the day you wake up, never stop believing, because at the end of that day, you will have learned something else.
Yes.
And the one thing about the meat game is you'll never, ever stop learning.
Oh, you're never finished learning, are you? No,
because
never.
You'll always see something.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, that's the passion, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, I remember when the first award was won, and I mean this, and I don't mind saying it, Alan.
Yeah.
A little tear. Yeah. I could hardly speak.
Yeah.
Because I said yes. 'Twas like when I had my first ride in a race.
Yeah.
'Twas also like when I scored my first try playing rugby.
Yeah, he's laughing. Sorry. Trevor was the jockey. No, but I know what you mean, Trevor. Like in January there, I went up to the same thing, the national competition. You go in, you put your heart and soul into what you're doing, and you just to be there on the day and have your stuff in it. And I know it's, but when I won, like, to be called out in front, the same feeling, like, I just couldn't believe it. Was better than, I don't know, winning money in the lotto, like, to be honest with you, because it's like all the years of hard work, and there's times you doubt yourself, and maybe people, you think you're not as good as what you should be like that, and then just to get recognition to say, yeah, like, the work you done, the effort you put in is paying off. Because it took me, what I put into it, it took me over a year, like what you were saying. I made the first batch, cooked it in the kitchen, the whole lot, threw it out. It looked lovely, smelled lovely. It was horrible, took out stuff, put in stuff, and like you said, it probably did take about 13 or 14 goes to get it right, Well, one question I'd like to ask you, Trevor, because it's not often you get someone with your experience. You've seen it all through all the years and all the different aspects of the trade. And like we were saying earlier about the butcher and the baker and the candlestick maker, what do you see for butchers that are out there or small artisan producers? What keeps them strong that they'll still be there in 10 years with the way things have changed over the last 25 or 30 years?
I said to you when the students came into my facility, the one thing they needed to have was passion.
Yes.
What every small butcher in the country needs to have is one word: belief.
Yes.
Belief in what they're doing. And basically, let the customers, let them know. Don't be afraid to show. Right, beat the big boys at their own game. It's now become very, very simple to have a little video shot up in your corner. And basically
show the process if you're making a sausage
don't hide anything.
Yes.
Don't let you be seen to be good at what you do. And don't be afraid. Why am I so good? Why am I so good?
Yeah.
Show it.
Yeah.
I always said a butcher was like the priest. And next minute, a person would come in and you'd nearly feel like saying, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Because all of a sudden, could I talk to you for a minute? And they tell you a problem.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
And you become their ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it is.
And Alan, that's Ireland. That's rural Ireland. That's urban Ireland.
Yes.
Let's not leave that behind us. That cannot go.
Yeah.
The pub trade, the whole scene,
I know.
the whole culture of Ireland is changing.
It is.
Let's not let one part of that culture go. And that's why I'm saying to you, mind what we have.
Yes.
I was a member of the Masters Butchers Federation in years gone by. And what I am saying to you is I supply more small butchers still. Why? Because I am trying to give them a product that they can't have the time. They don't have the time to produce it myself.
Have the manpower, yeah.
But I would prefer to give that to 10 smaller butchers than one
big supermarket. And then, Trevor, say for small artisan producers or butcher shops, why is it so important for them to get recognition from the likes of Blasnaheran or different?
Well, what I will say to you is, I look at my own award structure, and somebody would say to me, well, what has it done for you? And I say it gave me huge self-satisfaction, which is if you're not happy in yourself,
forget
other people won't be happy. That you have to be happy in what yourself, what your image, what you're standing. And the one thing that is important, it is showing that you have a structure in place to be able to produce something that is very, very good and is recognised in that sphere, in the eyes of other people.
Thanks very much, Trevor. I appreciate the chat and passing on a bit of knowledge. Thank you, Trevor.
Cheers.